This lesson is on rational numbers, and the first thing we're going to do is express a number as a decimal. So express as a decimal. So these are just taking fractions and mixed numbers and putting them into decimal form. 2/5 is the first one. Now the first thing you want to do is see if you can make that bottom number become a power of 10, because it makes it a lot easier. You can make a 5 become a 10 by multiplying it by 2. But if you multiply the bottom by 2, you must also multiply the top by 2. So 2 times 2 is 4. So once you have done that, you line up your numbers with your zeros. So that 0 goes with that 4. When you don't have any zeros left is where you put the decimal. So the answer for this one, whatever's here up top, is your answer. The answer is 0.4, or 4/10. Number 2, 3/10. 3/10. This one's already a power of 10, so line up the 0. That 0 goes with that 3. There's not a 0 left, so that's where you put a decimal. So that is 0.3 is an answer for that, or 3/10. Number 3, 7/8. Okay, 8 is a nice one to know. You can make an 8 become a power of 10, because 8 times 125 is 1,000. So if you multiply the bottom by 125, you have to multiply the top by 125. So that is 7 times 125 is 875. So you line up your zeros. When you don't have any more zeros left is where you put the decimal. So this one is 0.875. Number 4, 2 and 16/25. Now you do not have to make this into an improper fraction in order to write it as a decimal, because any numbers out front of your fraction go out front of your decimal in your answer. So this is going to be an answer of 2 point something. Now you work with the fraction part, 16/25. You can make 25 become a power of 10 by multiplying it by 4, so you get 100. Multiply the 16 by 4, you get 64. Line up your zeros, put your decimal. So this is 2.64 as my final answer for number 4. Number 5, -2/3. Okay, the negative doesn't matter, it just means your answer is going to be negative, so it just continues down. Now you cannot make a 3 become a power of 10, so this is where you have to divide. It's top, inside, bottom, out. So we're going to make it 2.00, I usually use 2 decimals for now, divided by the bottom number 3. Okay. 3 doesn't go into 2. 3 goes into 20 6 times. 6 times 3 is 18. Subtract. You bring down your next number, 0. You got 20 again, so this is going to repeat. So 0.6 repeating. Whatever repeats gets a repeating bar, and that one's done. Number 6, -1 2/9. Okay, so the -1 stays out front of your decimal. Okay, a 9 on the bottom has a special property. It means the number up top is just repeated. So -1 and 2/10, the 2/10 is repeated. Number 7, 6 2/3. So 6 is going to go in front of the decimal. We already did 2/3 over here. It was 0.6 repeating. Again, all we did was divide on that one. Number 8, -4 and 3/11. So my -4 is going to go out front with a decimal. 3/11, 3.00 divided by 11. 11 doesn't go into 3. 11 goes into 30 2 times. 2 times 11 is 22. Subtract 30, take away 22 is 8. Bring down the 0. 11 goes into 87 times. 7 times 11 is 77. 80 take away 77 is 3. Bring down another 0. Okay, now we had 30 to begin with, and now we're having 30 again, so it's repeating. So it's 0.27 repeating. And the bar has to go over the 2 and the 7 because that's the part that's repeating. Okay, now the other way around, express a fraction as a fraction or mixed number. This is where they give you a decimal and ask you to go the other way. Okay, so how many numbers after the decimal? You always want to make a fraction and put a 1 on the bottom, and then count how many numbers are after your decimals, and that's how many zeros go after your 1. So since there's one number after my decimal, I'm going to put 1, 0. And then the number that's after the decimal goes up top. Now you do have to simplify them. Since these are even numbers, you can chop them in half. So half of 8 is 4. And half of 10 is 5, so 4/5 is the answer to number 9. Number 10, negative 0.15. Okay, so the negative stays in your answer. You make a fraction with a 1 on the bottom. There's 2 numbers after your decimal, so you're going to put 2 numbers after your 1. And then the number after the decimal goes up top, so 15. You can divide these numbers by 5. Still got your negative. 15 divided by 5 is 3. And 100 divided by 5 is 20. Negative 3 over 20 is the answer to that one. Number 11, 0 and 1/10. The 1 is repeating. Okay, with a repeating decimal, what you do is the number that's after your decimal, it's a 1 in this case, goes up top. Because it's repeating, we're not going to put a 10 on the bottom. We're going to take 1 away. So 10 take away 1 is 9. And that's actually finished. Number 12. 1.7 repeating. Well, the 1's in front of the decimal point, so in front of your answer, it's going to be in front of your fraction. This is a repeating decimal, so you put a 7. Normally, we would have 7/10 here, but because of the fraction bar, we take away 1. So 7/10. So 10 take away 1 is 9. So 1 7/9 is the answer to that one.